Hello buddy, welcome to another video. Now quite a bit happened since you last saw the van, so I'll come and give you a quick tour. Come and have a look. So the first thing you'll notice back here is obviously the bench has just got some throws over for now, but they've actually got the side panels on. So that closes them off nicely, so you cover it with the bare wood. Once the cushions are on, that'll look fantastic. They're actually off at the upholsterers at the minute, the foam for that. And we've got the back doors all carpeted now, so that's all looking good. Works really well. Carbon monoxide alarm just sat up the end. So obviously you've seen the tap already, but what you've not seen is we've got cupboard doors. More than that, we've got side panels all in place as well. Now the cupboard doors, fairly basic manufacture, nothing too spectacular. It's just a sheet of MDF and some pine strip just glued together. And just painted. Didn't want to go for anything too expensive looking or anything like that, because the problem is you'll get to that point where you think, well, it looks really nice, fantastic, we're not going to use it. You're too scared to use it. So nothing too spectacular. I've got two drawers at the top, but they're actually not drawers. If I just pop that open for you, want to do something a little bit different. They actually pop open as doors, which gives you access to all the shelving place underneath, which is where all the hob and sink and bits and pieces like that, they'll all be stored. Just seemed like a great idea and seems to have worked. They're just on standard sort of magnetic catches, just hold that together. And if we can do that, I can't really do it very well one-handed, but basically we added these little sort of hook latches just to stop anything sort of coming forwards when you're actually driving along. Pop the lower one open, and that's where the bottles sit. I've actually put a partition divider in there just so that the bottles sit tight but not too tight, so there's a bit of movement on so you can get them in and out, but they're not going to go wandering along when you're driving. On this side you can actually just about make out in there the back end of the fridge and the fridge wiring, and just right down the bottom there, that's the battery. So that's still accessible if you need to actually access it and just reach in through the cupboard, so not too much of a problem. The fridge section looks like a cupboard door. Now if I just flip the latches off that, but it's not a cupboard door. You pull it open and it's a slide runner. Seemed like a great idea and seems to have worked really, really well. Again, little panel down at the bottom, that's where the electrics sit, and that's just on magnetic catches, so we can get into the fuse board under there and the breaker as well, so all that's nicely accessible. And like I say, it literally just held on with magnetic clips. The side panel here, you've got the heater controller, all happy there. And that's where the heater vent comes out, which shoots, if I just spin you around, straight up the middle of the van. We've tried it out and it's almost perfect alignment, works really, really well. Another little change that I did make, which I've yet to actually put a little strap on this as well just to assist it a little bit, is I wasn't happy with the design on this where it brought the legs up, so I've changed it so the legs actually stay behind. And you can just see down there, they held onto the front section with a dowel, and the dowel actually sits on there as a corresponding hole in that extra piece that I've added onto there. So just cut the legs down to compensate for it, but that means it'll actually lift up without taking the legs with it, which I prefer the idea of. If we've got the table sort of in the middle here, then the legs coming up would actually just clear out the table, so that lets you just get in there without worrying about sort of positioning of the table or anything like that. It still pulls out and just comes out in the same section from the right hand side, so it just meets everything up in the middle. That bit's exactly the same, it's just that section where I wanted it so you can lift it out and not worry about sort of legs coming up with it. It makes it a lot lighter as well, because you're only lifting one piece of wood rather than a massive sort of section all the way down there with the legs on. So there you go, bit of an update as to what's been going on and what I've been doing in the van. Like I say, a lot of stuff's moved on really quickly. almost alarmingly quickly, the way things have actually sort of moved into place. Because I say, we had the Easter weekend where I built all the benches, all the kitchen unit, got all that done. Almost straight after that, ordered the foam. That turned up in a couple of days, and that's gone down to the upholsterer this week. He says it's probably going to be another week or so before we get that back, because that's to order the material in. But again, we've got the May Day bank holiday, which has sort of slowed things up a little bit, so not too much of a problem anyway. Like I say, the big thing that we did last weekend, just built the cupboard doors, got that. It's literally just MDF cut to shape, and literally it's just cheap pine stripping, and just bonded on, clamped, and just let it go off, and a bit of paint put over it. Standard sort of pine doorknobs, just from Wicks. I think it was 10 for about £3, I think they were. It's just those with the bed paint on that we use for the worktop. So yeah, looks really good. Really impressed with it. And I think before long you're going to be seeing us going out on the first test trip. So watch this space. But get your new update soon. Like I say, we'll be doing window tinting. Got a couple of bits to work out on that first, just to make sure that I've got everything ready. But once I've got that, I'll do a video on that. It'll be a short one, just me sort of sticking a bit of tint film on, but hopefully that'll come out alright. If not, I'll take it to the professionals, let them do it properly for me. But yeah, all good, and definitely moving along well. But like I say, if you like the video, it's just basic update, just drop a like in there for us. Really helps the channel out. I'm going to try and get it growing a little bit more. Like I say, we're going on a few adventures now that it's moving on well as well, so hopefully be joining us for those. And like I say, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It's free of charge, but again, it really helps out. And like I say, there's going to be a lot more content coming soon, and a lot more sort of information about the build, because there's a lot of stuff that's sort of bubbling in the background that, some changes are going to sort of come in, certainly in the cab area, but that'll be sort of further down the line when I can sort of source the parts for it. But I can do a little bit on that when that comes in. But for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.